And the fact that all machines can be hacked and manipulated makes the issue of hacking become facts. If hacking can take place in our elections, does my vote count? I don't think so.
More than 2 years after Donald Trump lost the 2020 presidential election, people around the country are still freaking out over the idea that voting machines can't be trusted.
When someone says, oh, just stick it in the machine and everything is perfect, we know it's not. Garbage in, garbage out. First thing we learn.
We're in very rainy Shasta County, California. This is a red Trump voting part of pretty blue state. And this county actually just voted recently to get rid of their Dominion voting machines. The company at the center of all of this, Dominion Voting Systems, says there's a reason this happened. All the conspiracy theories about voting machines. The county voted to terminate the contract with the Dominion Voting Systems. Did you agree with that?
Absolutely, I agree with that. 100%.
Why?
How am I supposed to trust any machine? They're constantly on the news saying Russia can hack our banks. Russia can hack our military. Why can't the only thing we don't talk about that can be hacked is the voting machines? Well, they can, and they were shown that they can be.
The decision to get rid of the Dominion contract was spearheaded by the chairman of the Shasta County Board of Supervisors, Patrick Jones.
I have questions about electronic voting machines. We're a small county, and I think we can return to hand counting. We have a serious trust issue. You know there's a serious trust issue throughout the United States on electronic voting machines. It exists.
Some of Jones's suspicions are based on quotes from a Dominion employee that one of their machines in Michigan was hacked. It's a claim that Dominion says in court filings was mischaracterized and distorted by Fox News. It sounds like this is your only sort of specific evidence that you have of Dominion.
I didn't say that.
Do you have other evidence of specific problems you have with Dominion's systems?
I specifically brought this forward with Dominion because that is the contract that we had. That is the contract that we eliminated.
As an elected official, should you be able to present evidence, though, of why you're making decisions like that?
No, we have to approve a voting system for the residents of Shasta County. That's my job. And we're going to approve a system. And I would ask those companies to show me and prove to me that their systems cannot be hacked. So far, no one says they have to do that. So I'm not interested in your system. If you're not going to prove to me that you have enough securities in place to not be hacked.
A spokesperson for Dominion told Vice News in response to the termination of the contract that, quote, "This is yet another example of how lies about Dominion have damaged our company." And for some Shasta residents, these lies seem to come from one place.
If you owned a Lamborghini, right, and then Fox News told you can't trust your Lamborghini, would you trade your Lamborghini for a clown car? Then why are you going to do that to our voting systems? Like, we have something good already. And the whole basis of we shouldn't even be discussing this right now. This is ridiculous. This is based off of disinformation from Fox News.
Dominion has sued Fox News and Fox Corporation, alleging they knowingly spread false information about the company's machines. Dominion says that by airing numerous false claims without pushback, Fox defamed them.
Our side does not believe your crap, which is why we're all here. You are making it so that our voting system is going to be worse. You don't switch from technology back to no technology.
The worry for Dominion is that Fox, along with others in the right-wing ecosystem like Rudy Giuliani and Mike Lindell, could help sow more seeds of doubt in their election machines, costing them more business. Dominion is concerned about its bottom line. And Kathy Darling Allen is worried about money too, specifically Shasta County's. Switching voting machines isn't cheap.
It's in the neighborhood of somewhere between $2 and $3 million. And that's a 10-year cost, so our goal is to have a contract in place for the life of the equipment.
Allen runs Shasta's elections. Before 2020, neither she nor the voting process in Shasta County received much attention. But then the conspiracies started. Why do you think there are people in this county who do not trust these voting systems?
I don't think there's a person in our country who hasn't heard something about whether or not we can trust the way votes are counted. I think it is extremely troubling, but this is turning into an American problem, not a Democrat problem or a Republican problem. We have a very serious foundational trust issue with elections administration. And the really hard part for those of us who conduct elections is that we didn't break trust with the voters. We didn't break trust with the vendors or the candidates. Somebody decided to start lying, and those lies caught fire. We are now being asked, how can you regain the trust of the voters? Well, I didn't break trust with the voters. So it's a little bit disingenuous of a conversation.
There's a lawsuit right now. Dominion Voting Systems is suing Fox News for more than $1 billion. Do you see that as a turning point for accountability in this country around elections and trusting elections that are administered on voting machines?
It almost is like a new religion. Folks who believe that the 2020 election was stolen, regardless of proof or evidence that's presented to them. When I ask questions, I mean, they have an answer for everything, but that answer is never concrete. And there is never actual evidence that's presented because there is no actual evidence.
Do you think that there are people in this community that saw some of what was said on that television channel and maybe don't want to vote on these machines right here because of that?
It's entirely possible. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
We're a very conservative county and majority Republican. We do this work because we want to serve our neighbors and we want to serve our community. And we believe fundamentally in the importance of the work. And to be told after doing that and after we work really hard.
It's emotional for you to talk about this.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's not. I don't like to do this.
To make things as transparent as possible, Allen's office staged an open house after the board terminated the Dominion contract so that residents could see for themselves the options for the 3 state-certified voting machine systems, Dominion included. Were you surprised that the county voted to terminate that Dominion voting contract?
No, not at all. Not this county. No, they've been doing very extremist positions for the last several months. I think we're the laughingstock of a good portion of the country.
Dominion Voting Systems right now is suing Fox News. What do you make of that lawsuit?
I hope they take Fox News down for passing misinformation, disinformation. They have stirred up so much angst and antipathy and sore spirits amongst Americans. I think that's partly why I am supporting Dominion, because it's just upsetting to see what Fox News has been doing along these lines, just spreading lies.
We asked Fox News about Shasta's decision to terminate their Dominion contract and what they made of the allegations that Fox was behind the misinformation spreading through the county. They didn't really answer that part, but told us that the Dominion lawsuit was essentially trying to silence the press and is, quote, an unprecedented assault on the First Amendment.
As you're watching the Fox News lawsuit play out, they're proving that they more or less encouraged a false narrative, even though they knew it was true, that there wasn't major fraud.
What's happening in Shasta isn't simply a liberal versus conservative issue. Mary Rickard, a longstanding county supervisor and herself a Republican, voted to keep the Dominion machines. Is this a waste of money to be getting new voting systems?
It's an absolute waste of money. This is a very foolish decision. And I pointed out to them at a meeting, we were all elected by Dominion voting machines. So are you questioning the outcome of your own election? And I never got an answer.
The misinformation around voting in Shasta County has left a town paranoid. Things have gotten personal, and people like Kathy Darling Allen are now the target of unfounded suspicions about how voting is handled.
Kathy Darling cannot be trusted, period. She constantly just shows retaliation. If anybody questions her, what she's doing, what's going on in the building, and, she just does whatever she wants and starts doing things without even the board knowing.
It's hard to feel sorry for folks who are given correct information and who choose not to believe it. I spent a lot of time in 2021 saying into the microphone, if you're on social media and something you read makes you instantly angry, check yourself. That is your red flag that this is probably some kind of manipulative, maybe not completely accurate information.
I'm Michael Learmonth, editor-in-chief of Vice News. Too often, traditional news outlets shy away from the real stories and experiences of those living through global conflicts. Not Vice News. Our reporters are on the ground, fearlessly covering the human stories that shape our world. You and millions of others can continue to read, watch, and listen to Vice News for free. But we hope you'll consider making a one-time or ongoing contribution of any size at vice.com/contribute. Every contribution, no matter how big or small, helps support the journalism Vice News brings to you every day. Thank you.